Here we have the DNS. Now let's understand how the HTTP communication happens. So when we search something in the internet, let's say I want to search LinkedIn. So what happens is I simply type LinkedIn in my web browser. Now this directly goes to the internet. Before going to the internet, it is directly go to the DNS, and DNS will provide the IP address for this domain, that is the LinkedIn, and it transfer this IP address to the server, and again server check this and server identify what we request, and same thing happens, server send the request to DNS, and again DNS map our IP, and it simply send the response to here. Okay, so this is how HTTP communication works. So we have internet, we have DNS server, and we have the server. Now let's take a look at the picture. So here we have the HTTP flow, the basically HTTP diagram, how the HTTP works. So we can simply have a look here. We have the user type a website in the browser. Now computer don't understand the name of the website, it understand only the numbers. So to get the number, to get the IP address, this request directly goes to the DNS server. DNS server retrieves the IP address belong to that number, or belong to that domain name, and the request goes to the server. Again, this time user directly get the response. So this is how request and response work in HTTP. Okay, HTTP protocol. Now here we need to understand that by default HTTP use port 80, but we can change the port whatever we want. This is the by default. And let's continue here. Let's understand that I have a login page. I have a login page. Now here we have the server. If I send this login page, it directly goes to the server and it asks some information, whatever information I want on the basis of my credential. Let's say if the credential is right, then the server will respond me with some other files or location, right? And this is how, and this is what we have to understand. In website, if we want to access something, we need a URL. Without URL, we cannot access specific things. So URL is very important to access files or folders or something. So this is a basic overview how we send a request, and that request contains a URL. Let's say that here I have the request HTTP http, let me make it small or medium. http example.com slash login. So this is what I send. Now server identifies that okay, the username and password is correct, and server respond me with this page. Get, let's not use get, server directly respond me with this page. Dashboard, dashboard, right? Now server respond me this, and in my website, if I open my website, it will directly open it this page. If you look at the URL, it is mentioned that http example.com slash dashboard. Now, so we are in the dashboard, right? We are in dashboard. So inside dashboard, we have different things. As we can see, we have different things. We have profile section. We have some different option to upload a file, manage file, delete file, update data, and we have some related information, right? Here we have the information. If we click this information, let's say I want to access this, I click here. Now it has the link, right? Because https or http only contains the link to other document. So let's say if I click here, it is also the link. It is the link of a different web page. So if I click it, it directly redirects me in the next page. So here we have the next page, and in this page you might have your friend list, you might have your messages, your credit card information, right? So this is how we access a resource over the internet. Is that clear? Okay, any doubt here? Okay, perfect. Now to make a request, we need what? We need a URL, right? So this is a structure of URL. So here we have the structure of URL. Now the important thing that we need is the protocol, right? So this part is called protocol. This is called schema in technical terms. Okay, so schema, this is the technical term for the protocol. After protocol, we have domain name. So this is a domain. So after protocol, we have domain. After domain, we have the slash. It directly indicates that inside this domain, I want to access these files. So in this case, I want to access a dashboard. It can be page, it can be folder, it can be files, it can be anything. Got it? So this is the basic structure of a URL. Now I'm going to show you one more interesting thing. Before we proceed, any question, any doubt here? Okay, yeah, Sid, any doubt? So let's open it. Here we have the URL structure. Now let's understand. This part is called protocol. In technical term, it is called schema. And we can provide username and password in the URL. Okay, it is not so common, but yeah, we can provide username and password in URL also. After that, we have the host, that is domain, the website we are accessing. After that, we have the port number. Now again, it is totally depends. If if you don't change any settings, then the default port number for HTTP is 80. And after that, we have the path, whether it is a folder, file, or anything. Got it? And we have a query string. So this is the query string where we send our data. In this case, I'm sending a login information here, right? Now here, I'm going to mark you the important things. The schema is very important. Like, not every component that we have in this URL has in the actual website, but I'm just going to take the common things that you will find in the website. So these are the three things you'll find commonly in the website. You don't find this thing often. You don't find this often things. Let's say this one. And yeah, this one. Got it? Any question, confusion here? Okay. Now, let's understand the cURL. We have just understand how HTTP makes a request. Now let's understand cURL. Can anyone know what is cURL? Okay. So cURL is basically a Kali Linux utility. We can use cURL to send HTTP request. Okay. So it is used to send the request and analyze the response. So the cURL is a like tool, and we can use it to send the HTTP request and download the files. Now, it can be used to send a basic request to any URL, and it prints the response directly in our terminal in a raw format. So with the help of curl, we can download a page, we can download a file, okay, and we can save that page or file in different files or folders. Got it? So shall we proceed with the lab, how curls work? Or do we have any queries here? Okay, yeah. So this is my terminal. If I want to send a HTTP request, I have the curl tool pre-installed in Kali Linux. So I just have to use that tool, right? So cURL curl, and I have to name the website. In this case, I want to access. In this case, I want to access example.com. If I click enter, it will take some time, and here we have the web page of example.com. Now you have to understand, this is not going to show you a website in virtual mode. Okay, it is only going to give you the HTML code, okay, of that website. If you want to see how the website looks, you can simply use the Google and type this website. Got it? Any question here? So this is a basic command, how to use curl, how to send a request to the curl. Let me clear it. Now let's say I want to save this file, I want to save this web page. How can I do this? So I can simply do it by using the -o option. Got it? So I'm going to write down the command, first command for curl. And if I want to save this file, I just have to O, and let's save this in url.txt file. Now the web page is downloaded in this file url.txt. If we simply list this, we can see we have url.txt file. If we open this file, we'll see that the web page is downloaded in this file. Got it? This is the same page that we have retrieved using curl, right? Any queries here? Any question? Yes, so far so clear. Okay, Sid, any question? Okay, now we have learned how to use curl to send a request. We have learned how to download a file using curl. Download a file or pages. Now let's do a lab, okay? Let's do a simple lab. How many of you have Kali Linux in their system? Okay, so in that case I'm going to provide you the virtual lab, okay? Please wait. So here, this is our Parrot operating system, and here we have one website. So if we click on this website in our browser, we'll see that one message here. The page is intentionally left blank. Use curl should be enough. So the page, the website is actually forcing us to use curl. And your lab is to download a file using a curl, right? Once you download a file, you'll get the flag to solve the lab. Got it? Any doubt here? Okay, so here we have the terminal. Here we have the terminal, and Garv, please proceed with your practicals, huh? You can use this system. You can use this system to do the practicals. So now your first step is to send a curl request in this website to download a file to solve the lab. We have the commands, right? We have covered. Yeah. Please. Who has accessed the link? Got it, right? Mm-hmm. Not slash o. Oh yes, yeah. Space. Now, let me clear one thing. See, we don't have any. We have. Do we have any text of document file here? No, right? Now, if I want to download this website or web page, what I do is I simply copy this link, right? Please don't access the lab. Now, I simply use cURL. I paste that website using Control Shift and V hyphen O, right? And in order to save this file, I want to, and I have to give a file name. So in this case, I'm going to give URL urls.txt as my file name. And if I hit enter, wait, I think we need to give capital O. Okay. Oh, acha, there is a mistake. There is a typo in command. So if I simply click curl website hyphen o and url.txt, this is our file name, right? And if I simply ls, we can see we have one file called url.txt, and this file contains this web page. Got it? Now please try to download this file again. Name it url.2, huh? Mm-hmm. Use go in that browser, paste it. Just remove that thing. You have to use keyboard, huh? Mm-hmm. Very good. No, we have the url.txt. You have to write down url2.txt. Enter. Now I want to check that web page. Click ls. Do we have url.txt too? Yes, we have. Now type cat space, then url2.txt and hit enter. Yeah, so here we have the files, right? Here we have the HTML document of this page. Got it? Now, how do we know that the HTML document is this website? So to identify this, we simply left click on the website and we can simply click view page source. So here we have the view page source, right? So this is what we have in our curl. Let's confirm it. So first we have this thing, header metadata, right? Then meta name viewpoint. Here we have the same thing, meta name viewpoint. In our body we have the page is intentionally left blank. Do we have it here? Yeah, in our body we have this text. So we can confirm that this is the same page, right? We are accessing the same page. Got it? Now in order to solve the lab, let's understand the lab challenge. So here is the lab challenge. I'm going to paste it in here. Yeah, is my screen visible? So here is our lab 1. So it is saying that what it is saying that to get the flag, start the exercise and then use curl to download the file retrieve or returned by download.php. Now we have to download the file, right? So this file we have to download and we have to analyze the response, or we have to analyze what we have in that file. So are you ready to download it? Am I audible? Now let's come back in lab. If we simply click download.php, do we have anything? No, it is simply saying that use curl. Now if we don't use curl, then we don't know what information we have, right? Because it is not showing in the browser. So to identify if there is any sensitive data or anything that is exposing, we have to use curl, right? So use curl to download the file. First clear this screen, and save it as download.txt. Okay, open this file, open download.txt file, and analyze it. So if we analyze, then we have this thing, right? So this is our flag. In real life it might be some data, right? If you do the same thing in real life, if the web application is vulnerable, it might leak some data, some configuration file, some error logs, right? That you can simply use it to your additional research. Got it? So this is how we use curl to analyze the HTTP request. Now we do the same thing in browser, right? We don't see the data, but if we use curl, we'll see the data. So that is the difference, and there is no option in our browser to download this page. Do we have? We don't have any option, right? So we don't know. That is why developer use curl to analyze request and response, how a website respond to the particular request, what type of data it leaks, what type of data it sends, right? In our upcoming class, we'll talk about some different options in curl to analyze the request and response. So in this today's class, we only learn how to send a request and how to send a request using HTTP. What is HTTP? What is URL? Got it? Any question here? Anyone? Okay, no question, right? So let's cover what we have done. So our first step to solve a lab, here we have the first step. And what is the first step? Use curl to send request. Got it? Use curl to send the HTTP request. Now second thing is download the page. Now to download it, we'll simply type this thing and it will download our page to downloads.txt. Download page files using curl. So we can download the pages, we can download the file using curl. So once we download the file, we can simply check that file. So once we check that file, we'll see that okay, we have received the flag for our first lab. So this is how we use curl. Okay, now what next? After this class, I want you to practice the same thing. How would you practice? Just go in different website. So acha, the access is denied, but you can simply go in tesla.com. Maybe, so you can simply go in tesla.com. You can use curl to send a request, right? You can download this thing in your Kali Linux. Okay, so this is how you have to download the files. This is what you have to do. Now let's do a quick review and recap what we have covered so far. Okay, so this is what we have covered. So we have covered HTTP and WebSocket. Like we have seen that okay, HTTP is not the only protocol that used in application layer to access the website. After that, we'll see how these two computers communicate. Then we'll see okay, if I want to access a website, it directly goes throughout the internet, but here we have the DNS. And what is the work of a DNS? So here we have the diagram that explains each and everything. We understand that by default HTTP use port number 80, and to access any data on the website we have to use a URL. Now URL simply specify where we want to go in that particular website. In our lab case, URL simply explains us that we want to go downloads.php inside this web application, right? So this is the same thing. We use URL to specify the location of our file where we want to do. And this is here's the example. We try to do the login here. So here we have the login page. We send the request. We got the response. Inside the response, if we look at the URL, we have this thing, right? And here we have links. If we click any of this link, we'll redirect to other page. So we have the other page. Got it? Here's the structure of URL. What is the important thing in URL? I have marked it down as this. What is not common in URL? This thing. I have marked it down here. Here we have the curl command. So in today's class, we have covered how to send the basic HTTP request, how to download a file, page or anything using curl. And here we have lab 1 where we learn to send a request and to download a file. All good? Now let's take a question. So Sid, security auditor, please join with your own name, and Gaurav. Now shoot some questions. Please ask some questions. Any doubts? Yes. We can use. So any website we can use curl. It doesn't matter if the website is built on React, JS, Node. It doesn't matter. Okay. We can even use curl in APIs. Yes, we can save the file in any format, since we have to define the file format, right? So here we have the lab, right? If we go in the lab, where is, yeah, here we have the lab. I can save this in PHP. If I check this, then here we have downloads.php. But why we are saving this in txt? Because it is very easy to read it, right? That is why we are saving this as a text file. PHP is a programming file, so this is not a program, this is not a code. That is why we have to save this in text document. Yeah, Sid, question here. Okay, so how was the class? How was today's class? So what is the new thing that you learn in today's class? Hmm. Okay, so Sid, security auditor. Okay, no issues. Security auditor, what is new for you in this class? Mhm. So let's wrap up our class here. We have to cover some topics. So that is the theory topics. Okay, so should we cover it now, or do we have to cover today, or not today, tomorrow? Okay, Sid. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's make it tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow we'll see how to send a request using curl. What type of request? How to send a HTTP request, or no, HTTPS request, right? And what is the difference in HTTP and HTTPS? We'll talk about secure DNS. Got it? So this is what we have in this session. Okay, so hope you enjoy it. Yes, thank you everyone for joining the class. Yeah, let's meet on tomorrow.